Well, I'm having a little bit of lunch. I'm gonna run through the smaller stables. We're gonna start with the smaller stables this week. Andrew Harris has Cruising in Style. He wasn't that good at Yonkers the other night, but he had the 7-hole. It's a tough place to lead from, and it's a tough place to race from. That track and the outside post do not mix well at all. So we'll hope for a rebound next week and a better result. John Bootenchain is Stonebridge Simba for the time being, but he is coming home. Needs a little freshening up, this guy. Maybe we'll race him a couple of times in the winter in Toronto, and then we'll decide, Mohawk, then we'll decide whether he goes back to the States, somewhere in the States, whether it be Illinois, Pennsylvania, or even Ohio. We'll figure that out along the way. Angie Coleman is Olympic hopeful. She's turned out still. I guess I don't have to keep reporting that. She's turned out still, and Jared we had a mishap last night with Final Answer, and he got injured. The extent of his injury is still unknown. He's at the university. No bones are broken, and the suspensory ligament is not torn badly, but something happened, and it very well could be career-ending. So, terrible news for Final Answer, but, horses that get these freak injuries, it's always because they're triers, right? And I've said this at the other video at the outset. I love horses that try and work hard, and this horse was a worker. And never want to see that happen. It doesn't look to be dire, but it likely is career-ending. So, well, I'll keep Final Answer, and when he sounds up, we'll try and find a nice home for him. Road Tripper, I hope, is ready to go next week. He's really frustrating me. He's got a foot that's really bothering him. We'll see how he comes out of this week into next week. Tim has White Tiger. Now, White Tiger, they tried a big power move with him down the backstretch, and he lost himself in the last turn. A little more conservative approach if he's going to be first over, which I hope he isn't again, but we'll leave him there for now. I think he's still got lots of good things to offer in Pennsylvania, and I think last week was a little bit of an anomaly. He hasn't been making breaks, and you could see why he did. He really blasted him into the last turn, and he just kind of lost himself for a sec. So White Tiger will be out again next week. And then Blair has Heavenly Skies. Not much has changed there. I think she's going to be turned out for, I'm going to guess, a couple of months. Blair was trying to get her qualified and said she just needed to grow up now. I haven't heard directly from Blair saying he's going to turn her out. I have to read between the lines sometimes with Blair because it's hard to get a hold of Blair. Blair's a great guy, a great horseman, but my goodness, he's tough to get a hold of. Irv Miller has Yes. Yes was 7th in the Matron, trotted 152-3. He'll be making his first start ever at Yonkers. Having a track record holder on a half-mile track, I think Yonkers might be beneficial for the big Yes colt. Oh So Pine has been racing tremendously for Carmen. Has raced tremendously for Carmen, looked great. Last week he'd actually ended up racing twice. He had a first and a second and looked great. So it's full speed ahead for Oh So Pine. And then Mario has Sunshine and Shade, who I'm driving tomorrow night. He looked poor last week, and I'm expecting a bigger effort from him this week. I think we're going to castrate him immediately after he's done with this stake series, and then he'll find the field for a little bit. And also Maintenance Man qualified back. Mario has Maintenance Man right now. I'm toying with the idea of maybe sending Maintenance Man to race at Batavia for a couple of weeks. They got some real cheap classes there for bottom end horses that have no money made in their last 4, so it might be a great place for him. We will see, though. Certainly nothing set in stone there. He qualified in 56 and looked okay doing it the other day. Be back in a minute. We got Harry, Jason, and Kevin's barn. I'll be back in just a minute.